Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, I don't know if I've done a reading for you before. I'd like to explain real quick kind of how it works so you understand. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me and they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. I try to describe the picture the best that I can. There is always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind because you'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, oh, I know what he's talking about. So it's not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can. I forgot the rest of my little spiel. Oh, well. Anyway, so we're going to talk to Jerry. Make sure I got the right name here and let's make sure. Your mama's calling back. My mama's calling. For no real reason, but Mama calls, you gotta run. My mom's 92 and lives by herself. So I can't not answer any of her phone calls. Anyway, I don't remember where I was, but I asked Jerry to these are my release cards. I call it something you need to let go of. Something you need to let go of. Sorry, not sure. So I shuffle until he tells me which card to stop at. So surrender effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. So whatever it is, I'll put it up there. So if you want to read it, you can. See how she feels so effortless, so calm, so peaceful. That's what he's wanting you to get to. So whatever's going on, stop pushing so hard. Just kind of let it go with the flow. That's what he's saying. Don't make life too strenuous, is what he's saying. Sometimes you create more stress than you need. Just enjoy what you have left in this world. He's not saying you're going anywhere. Don't get worried. So you would ask why he was in the car that night. He just keeps saying milk and bread, milk and bread. So it doesn't necessarily mean he was going to get exactly milk and bread, but he was going to go get something, some kind of staple, some kind of, milk and bread's kind of the basic. He says milk, bread, and honey. Honey, honey. I don't know if he liked honey or maybe you just ate some honey. He's not helping me. He's saying when he comes close, and it doesn't have to be every time he comes close, but sometimes when he comes close, there'll be a strong smell, but he's not giving me the smell. Usually they'll give me whether it's cigarette smoke or a campfire smoke or cologne or some strong smell, and yet he's not giving me a hint what it is. But anyway, let's say you're sitting in your living room and all of a sudden you get a whiff of something that's not normally in your house, or let's say it's a cigarette. He's not even saying. I can't make him. Let's say if it's a cigarette, and nobody smokes in the house, you get smell of cigarette smoke, or you just get a strong scent of something, and the first person you think of is him. It reminds you of him because it's some smell that was familiar with him. That'll be a sign for you from him. It's like he really pushes it. I don't understand why he's not telling me what it is. Anyway, he says, old gal, you worry too much. You worry. Oh, he's making me think of my mom. Like, mom sits around and she worries because she doesn't have a whole lot to do. But she thinks of things and she thinks and she overthinks and then she thinks more on it and then she tries to figure out things in her head and a little obsessive thinking. He says surrender to the effortlessness. Just let it go. It'll happen like it's supposed to. You can't fix it by worrying about it, he says. So if there's something you're worried about right now, see if you can kind of back off on that energy and let it do what it needs to do. Trying to get him to tell me what he's been doing. He says basically he's been doing nothing. He said he's earned his stripes. He's earned the right to kick back and relax. That he doesn't. Usually when they go there, they're learning lessons or interacting with other people. He said his mom, my mom, my mom, my mom, my mom, my mom's here. We straightened everything out. My mom's here. It's okay now. How would you like your hair to look? Just go do it. How do you really want your hair to look? Just go do it. He's making it feel like you want to do something a little weird, a little different. Like I'm getting ready. Look how old I am. I'm getting ready to go see my girl before she has a baby and get some maroon streaks, not streaks, not like a witchy thing, but get a little different color put in there along with a little more blonde. So if it's something like that, he says, go do it. Just go do it. Don't worry about what they all say. I didn't want to do it before my high school reunion. They'd think I was a freak. Oh, well, wait a minute, I am. Okay, he's showing me a bunch of spaghetti noodles, like having tongs and pulling them out, pulling the bunch of noodles up out of the pot. So whether that was his favorite food, you should smell this too. Like when you put the sauce on it and stuff, that'll be another smell. And you can be in your car, you can be outside, you can be in your home. You don't have to be in the kitchen in order to smell these things. Smells are easy for them to do. Smells and sounds and things are really easy for them to do. I mean, if you put a boulder in your living room and ask them to move it, that's probably not going to happen. But these are easy ways for them to let you know that they're there. So, or maybe you just ate spaghetti. Maybe that was his favorite food. I don't know what he's getting at with that. Okay, so he's showing me he's sitting in a chair in the kitchen, but instead of having these two chairs underneath the kitchen table, I don't know if there's any significance to this. These chairs are backed up to the table. I hope I'm explaining this right. The backs are against the table and the seats are not under the table. They're the opposite. So if I was sitting here, the table would be behind me. And it looks like, I even remember it, so I'm going to say 50s, 60s, where they had like that. Don't I have something that has that on it? I don't know why I thought I did. Like the metal around the edge of the table, and it was kind of not smooth, but it was like corrugated metal, about that thick, and it had a bump and a bump. It seemed like, I think everybody had a table like that back then. But he's showing that table for a reason, and he's mentioning the color red. I don't know if the table was red, you had red in your kitchen, and he's sitting in a chair with his chair back against the table, and he's patting the seat next to him, and he says, I got your seat ready. I got your seat ready. And I'm patiently waiting. You got plenty of time. I'm in no hurry. I'm fine. I got mom. I got mom. I got mom. but I'm very patiently waiting. So know that you'll be safe and well taken care of. He goes, pats his, ooh, can't do that, pats his belly, and kind of leans back in the chair, a little bit sloppy, and says, haven't lost a pound. Don't want to lose a pound. Don't need to lose a pound. I'm fat and sassy and calm and happy. He says, actually, I've been kind of like a vegetable. Ain't been doing shit, he says. I'm getting to take a break. I've worked hard in this life, and I get to take a break. And hooray for me. It's my turn. Now watch all you guys down there. And I promise you 1,000% they can hear you, they can see you, you can talk to him all you want to. You may not hear him reply, but you never know. But you can talk to him all you want to. He says, did you see that kid down the road the other day? Did you see what he was doing? So did something happen on your street by a young male? I don't think he means like a little kid. I think he means like a at least driving age kid. It's kind of like, did you see what they were doing? So he's acknowledging he saw it, but he's not giving me the details. And they don't usually give me the details. Details are none of my business. He says they're recruiting haters. Do you have some shady people down the street from you? They're recruiting haters. And he's not real happy with them. He says sometimes you should feel him like nuzzling on your ear. Like when he wanted to get frisky and he would come over and kind of nuzzle on your ear and put his arms around you and start doing the grabby thing. Men. He says sometimes you should feel that nuzzling on the ear. So it could feel like a warmth, it could feel like a tingling. When Bob comes in, my Bob who's up there, my ear gets really hot and it'll actually, you can see that it turns red because his energy is so strong. It can just feel like a tickling that you can't, like there's a hair there, you can't make it stop. Did he used to stick his tongue in your ear? I don't want to get personal. You should feel something about the ear. He's trying to get frisky. You can you can still tell him to stop it. Knock it off. He can hear you. If he starts bugging you or it scares you, just tell him knock it off. He says you're doing a beautiful job as a mom. You always did. You always were. He admired you. He loved you deeply. He says I loved you very deeply. Probably more than you knew. Because we kind of went about our everyday busy lives and kind of maybe didn't dote on each other enough. He says, so I probably loved you more than I let on or let you know. And I appreciated having you in my life. You're my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. So go Google that song. He's singing that to you right now. So, and watch for that song to pop up. Or, it could pop up on the radio, or you could go somewhere and it's playing on the intercom, or like in Walmart or something. Or you could be walking through the store and you kind of feel your head pulled to the side and you see a picture and it says, "You are my sunshine." It could even be just a picture of the sun, but that's kind of stretching it. That's being a little vague. He said, "Just remember I love you, but enjoy the rest of your life. You'll be here soon enough. We'll be waiting. It's no problem. It's no big deal, and there's no hurry. But we'll all be happy once again." Just trust it. You'd be surprised how amazing it is here. And I love you. He's trying to do something like this. Like, I don't think he's doing he's not doing sign language. Groucho Marx. I don't know how old you are. I barely know anything about the Marx Brothers. The one that had the funny hat, and what did he always do? He always made some weird little sign. Maybe he liked the Marx Brothers. He always did some funny little thing, and I'm seeing a picture of that dude doing that funny thing with his hands, with his fingers. I think he's trying to validate that it's him. So anyway, he's going to shuffle off. He's shuffling his feet. It's like he's got house slippers on, but he's sliding his feet. He's shuffling them as he walks away. So you should hear this noise. And whenever you get a sign from him, anything that you think is a sign from him, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more. Give him permission if you want signs. And if they scare you, tell him so. And he shouldn't do it again. He should find something else. You can ask him to. With that, he's shuffling his feet and his slippers off as he's leaving. And that he's blowing you butterfly kisses. And when he turns around and he does, mwah, it looks like little butterflies come floating out every time he does it. So the butterflies can be a sign from him too. It's not just any old butterfly. It's feathers can be a sign from them or your angels. And I was in the middle of the hospital today getting some tests done. I was in the waiting room. I went to the waiting room, sat down to wait for my next one, and I looked down at the floor and there's a feather. That's the only one in that room. That's just the way signs work. It's just that simple, because how did that feather get clear on the inside of the hospital? How did I happen to sit in that chair at that time and that feather be there? They were just telling me I was going to be okay. So watch for those kinds of signs, especially a butterfly to be in a weird place. Much love to you, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. See you later.